Hi, my name is Stephen Simon. I'm Business Development Manager for Data and AI at HSO in the UK. What I'd like to do today is show you through what we call the Intelligent Hub, which is essentially a mocked-up Power BI dashboard, which is persona-based, focused on the warehouse manager. So as we can see, we've got the KPIs down the left-hand side, which are color-coded, traffic-lighted, but also indicate what the target is with that little dash. Very readily, easy to understand, standard thing which you can just glance at and see immediately. I've got a problem with items with stock out. I've got a problem with the stock storage utilization. So what we've got is these windows inside of the business which look at the same back-end system but graphically represent it in a different way. Here I've got the order rate versus on the right-hand side, the order per day versus available stock. And we can see those two outliers, which are exactly the same as what a supply chain manager would see. So I know I've got a problem here with HDMI cables because I've got too much stock, not enough availability, not enough demand. And here I've got the acoustic foam panel where actually I've got a lot of demand, but I haven't got much stock. If I look at my warehouse, I've got the bay door, and I know I can see it's quite well set out because I've got these areas which should be hot, where there's lots of goods going in and out, which are the most available to the bay door. But actually, I'm looking at this cold area here, which is more likely where these things are stored, which these HDMI 6-inch cables, which are not shifting. So I need to speak to supply chain to say, why are we ordering so much? I need to potentially speak to my regional sales manager to say, can we do some sort of special promotion, etc., where we can get these out the door faster, so I can free up some space to make me more efficient. But there's other areas, and if you see, there's different graphical interfaces for each one of these windows into the business. So we've got here the quantity packed by per day, and I can see how it goes in spikes. Now what that tells me is I'm getting large deliveries in, and I'm having to need a lot of staff to do it. But I can again hover over this and see a breakdown of a pop out of the data with that breakdown in. So I can very easily, without having to go through lots of reports and spreadsheets, very easily understand what's going on down to that granular level of the business. What I've got here is when we've got all of this information in the back-end system and we've stored a lot of it, we can start to predict what's happening in the future. Standard functionality inside of Power BI, but inside it on the Intelligence Hub, we start to look at it and say, what are the inbounds and outbounds inside of a warehouse? And actually the most interesting areas I'm looking at are, when are they both high? Because that tells me I'm going to need a lot of people as the warehouse manager. I'm going to need a lot of people to take goods in and also to ship goods out. So there's going to be a lot of movements in there. So it helps me with predicting actually how many staff. Do I need to hire staff, or do I just need to bring in some agency workers? Helps me start to understand and predict what's going on in my business. So as you can see, these different areas utilize utilize Power BI in order to get the right graphic to quickly understand what's going on in the business, so you can take that insight to action. So now I'll hand over to my colleague Jonathan Markilly, who's the lead Power BI consultant for HSO in the UK, and he'll talk you through some of the additional functionality which is inherent in the dashboard, which is delivered.
So in addition to all the functionality that's available on the page, Power BI has the ability to embed interactivity elements. So what I mean by this is you can create buttons and create different actions based on those buttons to display various different things. So for instance, we've got a little burger sign here, and when I click on it, I can pop out a filter panel. Now, the beauty of this is it allows me to maximize the use of space and put visualizations that the managers can use to make decisions more readily available for the user to see. And then if I need to slice the dashboard and see more detail, I can just pop up the filter panel and make some adjustments. Say if I want to look at different products, look at car audio, for example, I can then filter on that, click back, and then see more detail related to that. This is an incredibly useful feature that helps individuals gain insight quickly.
So thanks for watching what we've shown today. Hopefully it scratched the surface on what is the capabilities of what HSO can do working with customers to help them understand what's going on in the business with regards to the data and give them some insight to action.